Hello guys, good morning. Welcome to another live stream this Saturday. So we are going to do the weekly market analysis. So we're going to take a look at some potential zones for next week. So let's see what key levels maybe we can look at. Yeah, so welcome back. Haven't done one of these for almost a month, so yeah, looking forward to it. Back to trading after 2 weeks of holidays, so I come back 1 week ago. How was your week so far? How was your this last week? With the CPI data that came out, big moves on Tuesday. After that, it was kind of just super slow. Mostly the major FX. It was quite almost no movement for 2 days. Until yesterday there was a little bit more of a movement. On the other hand, we finally on gold we broke that support level, that we had like 3 or 4 major lows already in there. So we finally broke that level, which we are retesting it right now. That's where the market closed yesterday. So let's see what's going to happen after that. We can take a look at it as well. Maybe a few zones to look at. No surprise that price, aside from taking this one, how this holds in here on gold already looked a little bit compressed. Aside from this, out this level. So yeah, that's exactly where price kind of went to the next kind of demand zone. That was maybe still a little bit fresh, which is exactly where we had that kind of reaction somewhere in here yesterday. There was actually kind of a good PI in there to look for an opportunity. Yeah, the big news for next week, of course, is going to be the FOMC meeting. So everyone's going to be paying attention to the Fed on Wednesday, 7 p.m. as you know. So yeah, maybe the 75 basis point at this point is already priced in, with a small chance of maybe even going to 1 full percent basis point, 100 basis points increase. Let's see what the Fed's going to do. Most likely we're going to see some good movement in the market on that day. Yeah. So usually the way I do this, I start with dollar index, which is an asset pair that I like to analyze just to have an idea of maybe what to expect for the other major effects. Aside from that, this year we have seen kind of the inverted correlation between the dollar, the indices, even gold, for example. When you see dollar strength, we have been seeing the indices going down. So it's also useful to compare with those assets. Then we go a little bit to the indices, S&P and NASDAQ, and then we start going to the to the major FX, and I always finish a little bit with crypto, looking at Ethereum and Bitcoin. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you are watching it live, please interact with me, ask me questions. If you are looking at any specific level, any specific pair that you like me to look at, I will be looking at it. We can interact. And if you're watching it afterwards, the recording, and if you have any questions, if you like for me to cover anything else, feel free to write it in the comments, and I'll make sure to reply to you and to try to answer your question. So yeah, let's do this. Yeah, middle of September already, so we are 3 months and a half until the end of the year. So yeah, dollar index. Still drinking my morning coffee. Right, so we had this big move to the upside, right? This was Tuesday. I already kind of covered a little bit that move on my previous live stream on Tuesday. So I usually do it on Tuesday, more educational content, and then Saturday it's for the weekly review. So Tuesday, this is what you had, CPI data, and then we kind of add this range in here. So we move all the way to the upside, we kind of start creating a little bit of a pause in here, and after this we create a new zone. We almost kind of can separate this in two levels. One price above this level, and if price goes below this level, there's a chance for price tend to go down and feel maybe the rest of the move down. Aside from that, we do have some kind of compressions in here, and that maybe could have been traded in there. And we do have kind of this double top in there that I was looking personally. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for price to fake out these levels before maybe potential shorts in the dollar, which kind of would mean a long in the euro dollar, pound dollar, euro, Aussie dollar, and so on. So that's kind of what I was looking for. So yeah, after the CPI data, Tuesday and on Wednesday and Thursday, the price was super. The market was super boring. There was no movement at all. In most of the pairs, maybe just the yen pairs were the ones that actually there was some movement. Yeah, and we get here. So yesterday morning we kind of go higher, and this is one of the situations where I get a little bit not certain, because as you can see we have two highs in here. We have this one and we have this one, right? Now in terms of liquidity, how do I look at price collecting liquidity, which is maybe different from everything else that maybe you can see on the like smart money concepts or ICT or whatever that may be. I would have liked to see actually also the break of this high, but maybe something that actually I've seen a few times, that sometimes just the break of this one is maybe enough for that to happen, for that kind of trigger to happen, and then price can kind of start going down from there. So before any move to the downside from here, I would have liked to see. Usually I like to see kind of the highs being taken. Hey Faden, welcome back, man. Welcome back. How is the weather in Greece? Is it still super hot in there? Yeah. Now I know you are, man. You have been killing it this week at least on the end pairs. Yeah. Thank you for joining and for interacting. Yeah. 1 week ago it was still perfect. I'm getting my skin is kind of peeling off. I'm kind of losing my skin after the tan that I got in Greece. I'm losing a little bit hopefully I'm not going to be losing my tan that fast, but yeah, my skin is coming out. Yeah. So yeah, dollar index, as I was saying, what I've been seeing is that maybe sometimes just the fake out of this size is kind of yeah. So usually the way yeah, again, yeah, thank you for being here, man. Yep. Personally, I would have liked to see this, but I've seen way too many times as well that price may have just taken this one, and it can kind of start going down from that moment. Personally, I got stuck with the other bias of waiting it, so again, I don't trade over index, but I was waiting for that final fake out before looking for any longs on the dollar, even on the pound and on the Aussie. That's kind of what I was looking for. So I kind of stayed basically on the sidelines all that yesterday movement. On the other hand, on the time frame, I was starting to be aware of this PI that I could see, which is exactly this. So I could see that we did have this engulf to the downside from this low in here. So we had this demand zone, price kind of retested it, and then eventually it took it. So I was aware of this situation, and I was definitely aware of this zone that was still fresh in here. So yeah, kind of maybe some kind of KM in there, but this was literally the supply that I will be looking for, especially because this is about top, never really took the orders from there. So I would call this kind of a fake supply, and then this is kind of the real supply. Hey Jim, welcome. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to your daughter. I didn't know you had a daughter. Yeah, happy birthdays. Sushi time, huh? Great. I love sushi, man, but usually neither my girlfriend or kind of my close friends in here, they like it, so it's hard for me to go out to get some sushi. To at least eat in a good restaurant with sushi. She's 12. Yeah, congrats. Yeah, happy birthday to her, man. Have you tried to start teaching her a little bit of trading or not? Are you going to try to do that? That's kind of a question that always. Of course you will. Yeah, after learning the skill, right, it will be. She should stay sane. Nah, the good thing is if you teach, at least that's why. I think if you teach them too early, I think they're going to be emotional as to the aspects of trading, like to all that psychology part. So they'll just learn the skill, and then kind of I think they'll manage to look at trading just as a game. Instead of playing any video game, they kind of play the trading game without the fear of losing or any kind of emotions. So I think that can help them if you just teach them too early, so they can go through without those emotional battles. Yeah. So on the lower time frame, I was looking at this. I was aware of this situation, of this pricing here, and this is literally kind of one of my best kind of setups to look for an entry. This kind of PI, especially we even have this small break in here even before we touch the level. So it's even more a confirmation that most likely this supply in here is going to result to work. And even if you are not confident enough to place sell straight away in there, and if you still want to see this one being broken, then you have it, and then you can kind of look for the entry somewhere in here. That's usually kind of what you can do, depending on your confidence or not, or if you want to see extra confirmation to place your trade. But this is literally kind of one of my textbooks kind of setups that I like to see. Unfortunately, in the higher time frame, I was still kind of a little bit biased of the potential of that fake out a little bit higher, which may happen maybe somewhere next week, but at this point that never happened. So there you go. On the other hand, the PA on the euro and the pound and so on, I don't think it was as clean as this. Otherwise, I think I would have tried to catch a trade. The only trade actually I took, it was a sell on the dollar franc Swiss, and of course. Between all the dollar pairs, it was the only one that kind of just retraced. It took my first target, and then literally broke the highs that I was trading for. All the rest kind of it moved a little bit more into that direction. So it literally kind of picked up the wrong dollar pair to look for the trade. Yeah, this was a compression, so price could go, yeah, just fill this zone in there, and there is maybe potential to go further down. Yeah. Now, bigger picture. I still like where price reacted from on the higher time frame, like that 110 level that I was looking for. So I wouldn't be. Personally, I don't really need to see another kind of fake out. Price can do it. Let's see what's going to happen next week. Just one concern is that we never broke this wall. For me, we never really broke the wall to open more space straight away into the downside. So maybe we are going to actually may have still that extra fake out. Otherwise, if we did that broken this wall already, the confidence to look even for more sales in here and expect this kind of move and breaking these walls again, it will be even stronger. If we do break this all this structure in here, something like that, and then you retrace. This may open doors for price to at least go there, and this can help to then look maybe for that final move in here above all this size. I think all of you can see now already how much liquidity maybe is within the above this 1 through triple top in there. So that can be one scenario. I would like maybe to see maybe all this may kind of being taken, and then price may retrace on Tuesdays or something like that, and then maybe do something like this and maybe continue to the downside. That's kind of one of the things that I was already actually waiting for that this week. Never happened. It was slow days, as I mentioned, Wednesday and Thursday, and maybe that's going to happen next week. That's kind of where I'm be looking for on the dollar, with the potential then maybe price eventually can fill all this. For me, again, this is already an engulf to downside, so eventually when you can actually maybe break this low as a target, I would see maybe even as a target below these lows. But first this level needs to be taken. Bigger picture. Price is indeed reacting from this one. We just fake out this high. This personally for me is one of the most is one of the best zones to look for high time frame reversals. When we have this small high in here this week, especially if it is visible on the weekly, daily or monthly. So if it is visible on the higher time frame, is that first kind of zone that is created a little bit kind of after we have kind of the higher high of the zone, and is usually a little bit underneath the kind of the support resistance, kind of the last low that created the last high, kind of this SR zone somewhere in here. This usually is one of my favorite levels to look for a reversal. In the moment, it can lead to some frustration, in the sense that if by any chance, let's pretend that we are here now, that price was kind of somewhere in there, and if you are waiting for price to actually go to this supply zone before the move down, you're going to be frustrated for sure, because price never went there, and it just completely moved to downside, thousands and thousands of pips. And 20 years later, yes, 20 years later in this case, or whenever price is retracing to this level, now that becomes one of my favorite zones to look for a trade, because this is literally kind of the supply zone that kind of completed after the break of this one. It was this zone that was created, especially when broke out these walls as well. Price never went there, and this becomes now a really interesting zone, because it's a higher time frame level, daily, weekly or monthly. Expect as well some kind of good reaction from there. Yeah, doesn't mean that price will go make the same thousand of pips move, but at least maybe some kind of move maybe until this level. All this in the lower time frame, it's already a massive trade that you can kind of take advantage of it. After that, price can literally kind of still go up, eventually in the future, maybe go somewhere in here, and eventually, because you already have kind of all these highs in here, if the dollar and if the indices are going to continue to move down, and you're going to see a stronger dollar, maybe we're going to see even all this level being broken, all this zone in here. But yeah, for now, I kind of like where price is reacting in here, and then maybe eventually somewhere in here, it will be another zone to look for a possible reaction. And then if we do break this level, now we need to start looking at what's going on in here, look for fresh levels in there. And this is a monthly scale. Yeah, I will show you a few more reversal setups exactly similar to that, by focusing or targeting that kind of high in here. This one in here that I just mentioned, it's literally kind of the same kind of high that I mentioned on dollar yen when I was looking for that 139 level for a good reversal in there. If you look at where the Aussie yen reversed this week, again, it's a similar kind of high in there. Even on the Aussie dollar, where the high last year, that kind of, it was one of the first times that I kind of started predicting that these kind of zones It's still the higher high since last year. So yeah, still creating new lows after that. It's a similar zone, similar fake out just above this kind of wick that never touches in there, and it's close to the higher high of the move. It's just amazing how big of a reaction you can have. Then of course depends on the approach as well. Maybe you can have a good approach that helps as well to fine tune the zone. But yeah, higher time frame reversals, that's an amazing zone to look for. That's basically what I'll be looking for on the dollar. Yeah, you'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. If you do create a new high in here, then I'll still kind of be looking for a potential kind of zone. So actually the SR zone, I don't think it has been touched yet. That low, yeah, the low itself hasn't been touched. It's at 111, so that maybe it can go a little bit higher, still inside that zone. So yeah, maybe even if you create a new fake out, maybe dollar then it's going to go a little bit farther down. Yeah. Do you guys look at dollar index? Do you guys are looking at any specific thing? Do you think that dollar is going to continue to be stronger next week, or going to see some bearish moves on the dollar? Any takes on any particular thing that you guys are looking for? This is the indices. We did created a new low last week. This week, sorry. So we are still on this bearish move. You never look at the dollar index. Which pairs do you mostly focus on? On the dollar yen for sure. I saw you trading it. And what other FX pairs do you look at? So this is dollar. This is S&P. Yeah, nice reversal for the daily candle in there. Yeah, we moved down. I think I mentioned that. I could see this one kind of as an engulf down. When I mentioned kind of on Tuesday, we did react from this supply zone, and we just moved down, reacting quite nicely now from this week. Personally, I'm not sure if this is going to be. It can have some kind of reaction there. Higher time frame, I'm still looking for new lows on the indices, but for now, intradays, it's a nice reaction from this demand zone, to be honest. In there, so yeah, nice reaction from there. Let's see how price is going to now react when it reacts from here. If it's going to continue to the downside and continue the momentum down. Maybe that's what may happen. Again, another Monday. Let's see how price usually opens next week. But we may see some continuation to the downside on Monday, and then on Tuesday, let's see what kind of reversal, if there's any reversal to happen in there. I would like to see price going a little bit more further down in the scenario that is actually about to have a deeper retrace. Still not from here, maybe somewhere aligned with all these lows, and we had this fake out in here, so somewhere in here could be something to look at. That's kind of what I'll be looking for. Alright, so we just look at the euro, pound, yeah, specifics. The DXY can offer inside, but trying to keep information overload lower. Yeah. No, I personally like to look at the dollar index. It gives quite just all the information that you can get. And one thing that I like with dollar index is there is not much kind of manipulation going on. Like if you see a demand zone, usually price actually reacts from the demand zone. You see a support resistance or a supply, price actually reacts from it. It's not always forcing to kind of still kind of create some kind of manipulations around that zone before a reversal. And then when you see price react, dollar index reacting from there, sometimes you can fine tune good entries with the majors, with the major pairs. Yeah, I could see a little bit more move to downside. I like this demand zone where it's kind of reacting from, but maybe price going a little bit further down, getting close to this level, could be one of the scenarios that I'll be looking for. Yeah. After this big drop, I was paying attention to. This was one of the zones that I wanted to be seen. Our price would react from there. In this case, S&P never really reacted from there. NASDAQ actually reacted from this zone and it dropped. So there's a little bit actually of space in here. Maybe price can even fake out these guys eventually and maybe still react to the downside from that zone. So yeah, let's see. Oh, this approach was nice reaction. Yeah, nice reversal at this demand zone. So comparing with where this was reacting from with this one, I like much more where actually this one is reacting from, for a potential move in there. Yeah, as I was saying, NASDAQ actually reacted from this level in there. Just interesting to see sometimes they kind of create the same zones, but one reacts from the level, the other one doesn't, and it kind of keeps creating different dynamics within this S&P and the NASDAQ, which is quite interesting. So yeah, this one reacted from here, and NASDAQ on the higher time frame, it reacted from, yeah, it's nice zone as well. It just took these lows and it's reacting from this demand in here. It was kind of still fresh, so nice reaction from there. I kind of actually like it. I like it, yeah, kind of like it actually. Yeah, I think I like that zone. Eventually below these lows, everything kind of is compressed. Maybe something in here, but I think if price gets close to these lows, eventually we're going to create new lows altogether. But this one, actually on the daily, it was still fresh. This week never took it, and it's one of the last, on this scale on the daily, it's one of the last zones that was still fresh. This one has been taken by that one has been taken by that one. So let's see how big of a reaction price actually is going to have from here. Of course, we have a little bit of a barriers now on the of zones that price needs to fight through in order to continue or break through to go higher. So let's see what's going to happen in here. But yeah, it was a nice reaction, at least for a small move to the upside. It was a nice zone in there, a fresh zone in there to look for. Yeah, let's see on the tomorrow, Monday morning, how price is going to open. Again, nice reaction from that zone. The price just dropped. Yeah, weekly. Yeah, just curious. Higher time frame. Again, I'm still kind of bearish. I think we're going to create new lows in here. I think price is going to continue to move further down. There's a little bit more room to the downside, even though I kind of actually may like where there's a nice reaction from here. This was a monthly level, so we should expect kind of a monthly reaction, which it did. And now, nice reaction from there, and now price can kind of maybe continue to go lower. Yeah, we move on. Yeah, just before I go to the major FX, this is another index that I start looking at, which is the Euro index. And this is what I saw. Looking at the bigger picture, we just fake out that low. So I don't have much data in here, or at least there isn't that much data in here. It's just from February 2020, when kind of COVID started. We had that big spike on the euro. We fake out that low. I have no idea where this is reacting from, but we just broke this high in here. So yeah, from that high we kind of reacted from this zone that was still fresh, so there was space in here. This that level in there, nice simple reaction, and from here, let's see, right? That's the question mark. Are we going to create new highs, or are we going to respect something in here, something somewhere in here, and then, or even from this level, and now continue to downside? Because this can work maybe as an engulf to downside, because it kind of broke these lows. This could be one indication. Or are we going to respect this engulf to the upside already and create new highs? When I was looking at it, when I identified first, I could see some reaction here. The approach was good, so some kind of move from there could be an option. And again, what you can use this euro index pair is to try to look for some euro pairs, to look for some kind of strength on the euro. And you have seen it on the euro pound, euro Aussie, not so much on the euro dollar. Maybe the euro dollar is not one that, of course it's going to still move. Now this move in here, it was kind of the last move of the day on the euro. But even if the euro dollar is not moving so much, at least you can have the other euro pairs moving quite nicely. And that's exactly when we had the move on the euro pound, for example, which is actually kind of a similar setup in here, with a break of a high, fake out of lows, reacting from a demand zone, and meanwhile euro pound already broke this high again. It's actually kind of a similar setup, but sometimes this one actually is an engulf down price. We're going to have a deeper retrace, which is an option. Our price will just kind of take these lows and now continue to go higher, respect this engulf up, and maybe retest the next level, which is maybe somewhere in here that you kind of can target. It's a question of deeper retrace or just a small retrace. This may be a small retrace, this would be a deeper retrace, and then let's see what's going to happen next. Align with that low on the left side and maybe somewhere in here. Taking this one in here. So yeah, that's what I was looking for as well in here. So curious to see if this one's going to hold or is going to continue to go higher. Yeah, this is something to be looking at as well. And aside from that, there's still the Japanese index. There you go. This was a little bit more even simpler as well, similar scenario. This is something that you can see happening quite often, right? So we have that major high in here that needs to be kind of taken eventually. Price is reversing. Yep, it moves a little bit like this. It takes it, and then what's going to do is, instead of kind of testing straight away this demand and continue, is going to actually create an engulf to the upside and then a fake out the downside. It takes this high. Usually it's not so much, it's just a really small break to the upside. Yeah, maybe something like this. Mid price kind of going somewhere in there, and then it's going to take this one in there, or even take a little bit of this compression in there, which kind of can look like an engulf to downside. So people are going to actually start looking for sale somewhere in here or even somewhere in there, whatever. But in reality, price is going to continue to go up because this was already an engulf to the upside. So it's an engulf, fake out, and then just a continuation. Yeah, just like that. It's something that happens quite often, especially I think usually when we see kind of a little bit of an important high. It's a way to create liquidity from this high and then kind of do a trend continuation move by kind of creating a little bit of liquidity on the other side. So it's exactly what happened in here. We have this engulf up, down, and the price is free to go. And on the other hand, it kind of still, in this case, if price doesn't go actually all the way here and to go higher, it kind of leaves the demand zone. So it now, what it does is it leaves the demand zone fresh, which most likely then eventually whatever price is doing, maybe it's going to kind of go down, maybe collect these guys, and now continue. It's going to continue to go higher. That's a scenario that can be seen. This is now a continuation into a bigger picture. It's exactly that. Like it's kind of a PA that you can see happening quite often. So yeah, instead of these walls coming all the way down here to collect the orders, it doesn't. It just moves away straight away. Leaves this for the future, whenever that be. Then of course it depends on where is this size reacting from. If there's still space to still continue to look for a move to the upside. The first zone that I'm looking for is maybe the retest of this support resistance level in there that we had in here. So this is kind of a potential target for these longs on the GPI index, which is kind of a shorts maybe for the major for the EN pairs. Yeah, somewhere in there, there's maybe a little bit more room. Let's see if price feels that eventually fills this space in here. So yeah, let's take a look now at the major FX pairs. Yeah, this is the S&P. So yeah, euro. Yeah, just to show the euro pound setup as well that I was talking about. So this is similar setup that I was saying, right? Actually, euro pound in the bigger picture is quite interesting. If you actually had analyzed it in the bigger picture, this was actually quite an interesting move. Because we could see, so we had all this compression to the downside, and this small break of this high here, this small tiny engulf to the upside. This for me was an engulf to the upside for price to go, showing indication that price wanted to go higher. We just had taken a major low in there, which was respected again. And second, which was taken in here. That small engulf up as well. Kind of, it's, to be honest, it's kind of almost the same setup, just in a different scale, smaller scale, like kind of bigger scale, just a small engulf up. We literally have kind of where the low kind of came from. It never really reacted from the demand zone in there. So there's literally space, price goes down, it even breaks a high even before it gets there, and it reverses. And it's kind of a similar. This was kind of the demand zone. Now this new kind of origin, because all this is compressed in here, and somewhere in here, somewhere in here is it's kind of the demand zone. Maybe aligned with this high in here, somewhere in there. All this looks compressed, so somewhere in here is the decision to go higher. But price from these walls in here that started this compression, they literally have this level fresh behind. So it's the same thing. We have this zone in here, and we have this zone in there. Personally, when I was looking at these lows, I was looking a little bit further down. I think maybe the zone I was looking for is where I have this rectangle in there. So price never really got close to my zone. It just fake out these lows. Maybe I need to be a little bit more precise to go there in the lower time frame to find out exactly where price went to. I remember this was kind of a decision, interest rate decision in the Bank of England. When you had this kind of fast move, you can see the approach as well, really nice. This compression in here, and price moved away. This for me actually was kind of the best kind of the best second opportunity after missing kind of this zone in here. Finally we had it. We had all these lows in here, we had fake outs, and already break of a new high. This was actually kind of a good zone. Again, space in here between this zone and this one. This one actually could have been a great entry, with always the mind, or to keep to keep in mind this small engulf to the upside in the bigger picture, and this is usually then how you can try to combine higher time frame with maybe lower time frame. It doesn't mean that because you saw this engulf to the upside that you're going to be looking for major longs every single time. Look, any buy that you are entering is going to be expecting price to go there. That doesn't mean that. Price needs to be at a good level. And for example, price needed to first take these lows before even thinking about going up again. After you start moving like that, yes, maybe anytime now you're going to see some kind of longs, yes, you could try to maybe look for a bigger trade. But the setup that I was talking about is kind of this one. So this one actually takes it a little bit this high once more. It broke that high, and we have all these lows in here, and we literally have this demand zone in there. So this actually becomes a really nice zone. As again, small engulf to the upside, break out of all these lows into a fresh demand zone, and this becomes a really nice trade. I'll set up to look for a trend continuation move. Feden is saying Euro pound is reaching a good level, 88. So you're still looking at a bigger time frame, 88. 88.22, 88.62. 82, I have it as well. 60. So you're talking about, yeah, I like this level for sure. I think this is one of that you are talking about, right? 88, yeah, 88.22. Yeah, for sure this one. Yep, I do like it. I could see some kind of still reaction somewhere in there. Actually, I was about to almost to look for a short yesterday, just by the end of the training session, but I went to do something else. I was not in front of the charts, because I kind of start looking how price was moving, and over time frame I think there was a scalp in there. And then the other one is 88, 60, 62, 88, 62. Yeah, somewhere in aligned with the support resistance level, right? Somewhere in there. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And eventually, if that's really the intention, price can even go a little bit higher, because in the bigger picture, almost all of this can look like a little bit of a compressed. So it's going to be interesting to see. If it's going to be interesting if price actually is going to just, yep, maybe fill all this price until the next zone. And that's I wouldn't be surprised if the pound actually is going to, the euro pound is actually going to do all that, to just fill all this price in here. As you can see on the weekly, nothing much going on in there. So yeah, and on the daily, it's a little bit kind of compressed all the way there. Of course, on a lower time frame, we can see some kind of opportunities to trade from. All these boxes that I have is when price was going down. It's already drawings from last year. Yeah, this was kind of the reaction somewhere in here where price was reacting yesterday. Yep, I'm looking at this level as you are, 88.22 and 60.62 as well. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, this was in here, right? Yeah, Bank of England decision, right? You can see literally how price moved away from there, and we created all these highs that never really retested that level. So for sure, I'll be looking at that level as well. There's maybe even no, this one has already been touched, so this one has already been taken in here. So this actually could have been a really nice zone to trade, kind of, because this is a key M zone, and in the moment maybe this would have been a really nice opportunity to trade. This is literally a key M. We have the fake out into this previous level of support resistance, and we literally have this supply left left aligned with this left shoulder in here. So this was actually really nice, a nice zone that has been taken. There's maybe some orders in here for a small reaction, and then eventually price, I believe, is going to continue. It's going to continue to go higher. Let me see if I have enough data in here on the lower time frame. Yeah, so you can see, right? You can see this was the supply zone aligned with the support resistance, where we had this initial fake out in there, faking out all these highs in here with this one as well. So yeah, nice little decision point in there that has been taken. All of that has been collected. Can I go there on 1 minute? Yep, I can go there on 1 minute. Yeah, this is the supply. This is decision, most likely when the decision point was yeah, the Bank of England usually is at 12, so exactly at 12 we had that big drop. So yeah, this is where, at least on 1 minute, this is the first extreme of the zone. Something above this level could be interesting to start looking for, maybe some reaction, which is interesting. Yeah, for sure I think there's going to be some kind of opportunities or some reaction within this level, somewhere in here. Yeah, and something similar actually happened. So in terms of PA, just kind of another tip, or usually what I look at. Don't remember now the pair that happens. So after a big drop, when you have, for example, even this week with the CPI data, right, all of a sudden you have a major move down, or a drop, or a move to the upside, doesn't matter, a big drop or a big candle. Usually then there's that first moment where price kind of pauses. Yeah, price kind of pauses for the first instant, and kind of retraces, and then kind of it continues. So this first zone where price kind of pauses, usually it's kind of important. It's actually kind of a really nice zone to look for a reaction in the future, where price may kind of react from when it comes back. But after that, and this is why I kind of struggle a little bit when I look for trend continuation setups after big news event, because we start now creating a few supply levels, a few zones that maybe price can be attracted to. This is one of them, which usually is left behind for the future, and then we kind of have the next one. So this is kind of the next zone that maybe price could react from, which it did, right? Somewhere, something like that. Like, so it did somewhere in here, like that first zone, which usually is going to be below that first pause that we had in there, because that zone is going to be then used for the future. Usually you have that kind of first zone somewhere in here that will be reacted, price then will go down, still kind of not move too far away from here, spend the rest of the session in there, then the day after usually you have it kind of maybe during the London Open or something like that, we had that final fake out into that first zone that was important, and from there we go, we continue to go down. I remember talking about this one specifically, this kind of move, similar move during after the CPI data. I don't know if it was on the pound or something like that, that something like that happened, and it's quite often that you will see that happening. So yeah, pound, that's kind of a really nice zone to look for potential reaction. Yeah, for me yesterday, yes, I was about to look for a trade somewhere in there. I think actually it was somewhere in here when I noticed we'd broken this wall. This wall had already been broken again. It just went away. I didn't really trade it, and we had already this move to the downside as well. And yeah, I was not sure if there would be still enough liquidity until the market closed, so I just stayed away. It was like 3 hours before the market was about to close. But yeah, nice reaction from there, and maybe somewhere in here can be interesting for maybe trend continuation. Kind of the retest of this previous level of support resistance, in here at this demand zone, this can be a good level. Once more, this low hasn't reacted from there, hasn't reached that level, so let's see. This can be a good zone to look for, maybe potential trend continuation or some longs in there. Now the euro dollar a little bit similar to the dollar index, maybe not exactly, but for me there's still kind of a zone that I would like to see price going to, which is that zone in there. Price reacted from a really nice demand zone in here, and this is kind of where I was trying to stay patient, looking for that final fake out to the upside on dollar index, and then maybe look for the long on the dollar. That's actually what I was trying to look for. We literally had the break of these lows during yesterday London Open, I believe, into this small demand in there, exactly in there. After that, we had some kind of PA in here. This one was fresh as well, and there you go. Price moved to the upside. So yes, there was an opportunity to go long in there. There was definitely an opportunity to go long in there. On the other hand, I was still aware, actually this was a zone that I was looking for, because this high in here never really got to this kind of supply on this time frame, and that's something that I was still looking at. So it kind of reacted from this base, but now this one was still fresh, which is exactly where price reacted to. So now let's see what's going to happen. I kind of made this prediction. It's actually my thumbnail for this weekly analysis. When price was somewhere in here, I could see maybe price going somewhere in here, reacting from that level that was still fresh. This may be considered as an engulf to the upside, because it just broke this low, this high, sorry, and price now could maybe respect this level, start going down, and now maybe go take the orders from here, fake out all these lows, and then maybe go and move to the upside. That's kind of my drawing that you can see on my thumbnail, and it's something that it could happen. Maybe price will just continue to go higher from here. There's no need to come here right now. That's kind of just one of the scenarios that I would like to see in order to maybe try to join to move to the upside from somewhere in there. Yeah. On the other hand, we did broke this one. For some reason, I had this rectangle in there, which where price reacted to. So is this an engulf to the upside? Yes or no? That's kind of a question mark. If this high is in here kind of broke that level, that could be kind of seen as an engulf to the upside, which kind of would reinforce the move higher. For me, definitely, I believe there's still orders below this week, which is for me where we are going to. I don't believe price will kind of go all the way up without coming first down in here. That's what I kind of what I'll be looking for this week. It may be during the NFP, just a small, not NFP, FOMC, kind of a spike in there, then go higher. Can be Tuesday, can be Monday, we'll see. But I actually want to see price kind of going somewhere in there before I move up. If price just moves away, it just moved away. Then I'll try to look for any kind of opportunities along the way. Are you going to create a new lower low in here? That's kind of the other question. This can be kind of seen as a potential key M zone, right? We are starting to have some kind of good compressions as well. Actually, where this low is reacting from, it's kind of a nice zone with that one. We kind of have this trend line. Price is kind of respecting this trend line along the way. Yeah. Again, higher time frame. I'm still looking for euro to actually go a little bit further below and going somewhere in there. But for now, let's see what the euro is going to do. There's still kind of a demand zone still in there as well on the weekly time frame that is still fresh. Yeah, let's see. Curious to see how price is going to open on Monday. And then, since we are going to have that the FOMC day, what I like to see is start noticing what kind of important levels of structure have been broken or small engulfs up or down. That maybe starts giving me an indication of where we want to go next. That's going to be my main focus. Yeah, that's going to be literally my main focus of what I'm going to be paying attention to Tuesdays and on Tuesday and of Wednesday morning. Sometimes you don't even have that that engulf or that indication straight away, and maybe it's going to be during the interest rate release that you're going to find out, maybe some spikes here and there. And then of course during the speech is usually when during the press conference is usually then when price finally decides to the direction to go, and it starts moving in that direction. But yeah, higher time frame euro. I'll be looking for potential opportunities for longs in there, and then we'll see. There's a potential for price even to just go up until this weekend here on the daily, and then maybe continue to the downside. You can see that this zone has been kind of working out as a support resistance zone for a long time on the left side. So there's a potential of after the break of this one, right? After the break of this one, there's a potential to fill this price. Question is, price going to do this first, or price may just do this one, or even just completely just goes from here. Let's see what's going to happen. That's the euro. Pound on the other hand had already broken a new lower low, so it's been creating lower lows after lower low. On the pound in here, it's a little bit more clear that literally price never really broke this level. So again, this kind of still reinforces when you don't really see a proper break to the upside, there's a high probability that eventually this low actually is not going to hold price. Even if it looks like price is about to be respected, eventually price will just take in the zone. Yeah, this actually maybe this was kind of the example that I was explaining before on the euro pound of not even that much. This was a nice zone. This was actually maybe a nice setup to fake out this guy, respect that level, and then start looking for the sales. But yeah, price was again even like Tuesdays, Wednesday and Thursday, even though price was kind of the market was almost dead, price was still moving, even though it was in a choppy way. Price was still moving, price was still creating maybe good opportunities to trade from. But yeah, it's quite easy to get trapped in all these compression zones. Moves ups, moves downs, moves ups, moves downs. It's a little bit easy to start getting to get trapped and to lose quite a few trades in a row if you are trying to catch bigger moves in there. I have no idea where the low is reacting from, so I have no data on the left side, which is going to put me a little bit on the side on the pound for now. Because without having any historical data on the left side to see where price is reacting from, I have no idea if this is a good zone for price to react from, or if it's just a small bounce, price continues. So I'll be on the sidelines on the pound for the moment, until I see maybe some kind of key levels of structure being broken, and then maybe after we start having something, then maybe I can start looking to trade it more. But yeah, when I don't have any historical data, if you are creating historical high, historical lows, or if there's not enough data on the left side, it's going to be I don't really have an opinion Yeah, because I need that data to make my analysis. I can see all this compression, right? All this compression is interesting. This one, even though in the moment it doesn't really look as an engulf to the upside, this for me is kind of a potential engulf to the upside. So the break of this high can be shown a little bit more of a strength to the upside. We may have this zone in here. But aside from that, I'll be cautious with the pound. And if, as we analyzed already, the euro pound, if you are expecting the euro pound to maybe fill out that space until the 88.22, I think that was one of the levels, or even a little bit higher, maybe that can show a little bit more weakness on the pound in here. So yeah, maybe we're going to see new lows being created on the pound dollar. Yeah, so nothing much in here for me. Aussie. Yep, Aussie again. It was a really nice. It was kind of an obvious target. Let's just say it, right? After we created this one, after this big move down during the CPI data, I regret it so much to kind of not holding it. Something that I need to carry on working on. Again, I sold it in there because I never really saw the break of these lows. That's why kind of I didn't hold it. Otherwise, I would have tried to hold it. But it was kind of an obvious situation. We had this low in July that has been broken already on the euro, on the pound, and so on, even on the CAD. Aussie was kind of one of the last major FX pairs that was still holding that zone from July 14. Respected initially, price goes up. After this big move drop, there's almost the probability of these flows being respected in order for price to create a new move to the upside. It's really low. That probability is really low. What you should expect is actually kind of the fake out, or at least the break of these lows, and then reassess again to see if you're ready to go up, or if this is just kind of a now continuation move to the downside. So if you look now in the bigger picture once more, so that was one of the zones that I was kind of looking at when price was still somewhere in here. I really like this level. Now, is there anything a little bit underneath that zone that price may go and react to? The low from July, it didn't really react it from, in my opinion, the demand zone. So what we could see is maybe it's still a reaction from there. How this looks compressed, I kind of steal this demand in here on the 4 hour, and aside from that, kind of almost how this is compressed, maybe a break of that one. This zone in here, this demand zone can be an interesting zone to look for some kind of reaction. It's a little bit aligned with this level as well. This one is already an engulf to the downside. Eventually price can go and continue to go down. Engulf to the downside in here as well. And yeah, let's see. There's more potential to go further down on the Aussie. But some kind of fake out now and price kind of bouncing could be one of the scenarios. Yes, somewhere in there. Which value is this one? 6636. 6636. Let's see. On the weekly. Even below this wall. We have this left shoulder in there. Yeah, I'm curious to see how price is going to behave now. We have this level in there as well. Yeah, curious to see what price will do. It's a little bit compressed already in here. If you do break a little bit below this level, the lower time frame, look it. Oh, yes, somewhere in there as well. This one, maybe it has been touched already by this spike. Up, down. It has been touched. That one has been taken in there. This one. Yeah, let's see. Maybe that one has been taken already. Okay. This is the money still fresh for sure. There's some kind of decision in here being played. There is some kind of decision point being played in there. Yeah, let's see. I'll be playing as price is moving. I'll be paying attention to the approach, how price is reacting. To. Yeah. So far, this zone is this where price is reacting from? 66623. This is the demand zone in there. 66623. No, it isn't even touched that zone. So yeah, that's one to be paying attention to. Yeah, let's see. I could see literally on Monday price kind of resuming a little bit to move to the downside until eventually we are going to see some kind of retrace, and maybe let's see how price is going to open on Tuesday. Yeah, I don't really see. If often Mondays are not the reversal days, it can happen, but usually it's not the reversal days. That's more for Tuesdays. Yeah. Aside from that, maybe you can see maybe then the reversal in terms of where to look for shorts in here. Of course, this level needs to be broken first. Maybe there's something in there to look for continuation. Let's see. I'll be curious to look at how this looks compressed already. A lot of that move looks compressed. Maybe something there at the extreme. Yeah. Let's see. For now, not really the strongest momentum to the upside yet. Yeah, let's see. On the other hand, this Euro USD, again, as you could see with the Euro index, has been in this rally. So we had kind of all this compression to the downside. Maybe after the break of this one, could have kind of looked for longs. We took this low in here. This one kind of already been taken. This could be one of the first targets, and then eventually price can go all the way close to this level. The way price is moving up as well, it's in this strong compression. Yeah, this is the kind of one of the edge of this compression in here. Price is reacting from there, so it's going to be interesting to see as well. If we are expecting maybe this Euro Aussie to go up, maybe Aussie dollars can continue to go down, even though this most recent months, the Euro Aussie hasn't been as dependent as the Aussie. It has been kind of more controlled by the Euro itself than the Aussie moves. Yeah. So continuation to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if price eventually even takes this one and gets closer to this kind of support resistance in there. Yeah, before maybe a kind of some kind of retrace to the downside. In terms of looking for it afterwards, oh, this looks a lot of compression. You can, let's see what's going to happen in there. Yeah, these yen pairs, right? So yen, after doing that kind of exercise and explanation last week, this Tuesday, price, the yen dollar has been kind of, imagine trying to trade this the last couple of days. Price moved all the way down. It respected the base of this demand on the 4-hour time frame and is ranging. Is literally ranging. Let's see if price goes and continue to go down. I mentioned when I made this exercise that I would be surprised if price would go and break these lows before getting kind of a new higher high. But the reality is that price kind of respected that hike almost to the pip. There's, yeah. Faden, he had a beautiful short in there. exactly at the extreme, just exactly somewhere in there. There's exactly really nice zone to look for a trade. Yep, somewhere in there that he found it, and he kind of caught the short in there. Beautiful trade. You can check his trade on his Twitter account at his shirt. I mentioned that if by any chance, if price kind of starts respecting that level, if there will be some kind of PA, yes, maybe I would be looking for a short. And there was actually that kind of PA in there, which was, unfortunately, it happened during the Asian session. I was sleeping. This is again kind of a similar PA that I like to see. Again, base is fresh. We have this size to fake out. This is returning goof down, even off that zone. After all this compression down, and there you go. This could have been kind of a really nice zone to look for a short, but it was during the night time. Yeah. For that, let's see literally what the yen is doing, what it's going to do. On the bigger picture, I actually like where the yen is reacting from. This was the reaction where I wanted to see a few months ago on 139 level. Again, just similar to what I mentioned in terms of that specific zone for the higher time frame reversal. It's again just exactly the same. That wick, you can see it in here. 1 second. That small wick in here, not small at all, but that visible wick on the higher time frame, visible on the weekly and daily as well. In there, I wanted to see that being taken, and there was a fresh zone in there. Exactly what happened, and we had that big river move to downside. After that, now price actually got close to the extreme, and is reacting from another monthly wick, and those levels are quite important, or they can actually work quite nicely for a big reaction from it. So higher time frame wise, price is reacting from, so I could see price going further down from there. I wish I had lower time frame data to look at. So price is reacting from this weekly. Jesus, where are we? Yeah, price is reacting from this zone. We still have maybe this one above it, and maybe that can be something that the dollar yen can go to. Right. React from this level, right? So react a little bit from this one, go down a little bit, and then maybe it can do that on the daily. Yeah, on the daily, that's kind of where I have this zone in here, and maybe by looking at that, maybe actually even like it more and more. So somewhere around this level could be some kind of reaction. We have also the base of this zone. It's quite nice, and this high actually never really took the supply from there, so this could be a really nice zone for the yen to go to and to react from. I don't have the data on here on this MetaTrader. I have it on the trading view. I think then we have maybe potential to analyze, maybe we can do that in the future, to analyze what's on the left side of this high, and if this is actually a good zone to maybe look for a short, or if you even should kind of expect this high maybe to be faked out before a major reversal. But I do like this level, and that could be another high on the yen, which is a little bit above that zone, somewhere in there. Let's see. We definitely are creating this double top. Usually you are not going to see price having a major reversal by leaving a double top in here. We are going to see usually price kind of faking out a double top and going down. So if you do have this double top in here, it's something that we need to be cautious in terms of actually, if you're looking still for any sells now on the retest of this double top, I'll be cautious. The probability of having these two guys being faked out is quite high. Now, are we going to see this low being broken first? Maybe price retesting this demand zone or something like that, or even retesting this zone in here, which is the previous level of support resistance. You can see that zone major retrace, major reversal. Before having that move, let's see what's going to happen, what the end is going to be doing. But yeah, personally, I do like that level. I'll be paying attention to see what's going to happen in there. What do I look for? New, yeah. In the bigger picture, I just talked about it, right? Do you like, by the way, do you like that level on the higher time frame that I just showed, kind of on the daily level? That fresh supply that is still fresh. That is supply that is still fresh on the daily. Why didn't mark the zone? Second. Yep. I love this this feature from the trading box. Yeah, this level in here, right? Now I have the line there. Actually, I'm going to just extend the rectangle instead. Oh, damn it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any data either, neither. Yeah, this one can look interesting. But yeah, I love this feature that from the trading box price section tool. It's kind of, you press it in here and it just literally goes to wherever the next left zone price is reacting to on the left zone. It's amazing. It facilitates so much. So if I'm here and if I want to see where price is reacting to on the left side, I just press here and price takes me there, which is on this line right here. It's just amazing. This does. Yeah, aside from that, just even looking at the higher time frame, that level can be in there. And he said, "Thank you, sir." Come on, man, don't call me sir, man. We are mates, man. We are kind of, I almost considering as my new trading friend from Greece. So yeah, man. Maybe I can even learn a little bit more Greek with you. My girlfriend would love it. Yeah. I may still like this level. Of course, we do have this supply zone that's still fresh. So maybe looking at there could be a scenario. Somewhere in here. I'm not a big fan of trading within kind of these ranges, but for sure in the lower time frame, you could have taken, yeah, that definitely there was this trading here. Now we have this KM zone in there, taken from that one. We have a new supply in there. So if you want to kind of look at it on the shorter time frame, I think you like to trade on the lower time frame as well. For sure, maybe you could have taken some trades in here. This is yeah, there's a little bit of liquidity in there. You could have taken in there. Now this maybe zone is still fresh. Maybe some reaction from here in the future could be an option. Eventually, I believe all this range that you have in here is going to be taken, and maybe price is free to go and collect maybe these orders from this supply level. On the other hand, maybe still have kind of this left shoulder in there. Somewhere in here, and we do have maybe still this supply in there, which kind of was taken by this double touch in there when you created a new supply aligned in here. So yeah, maybe underneath now this level can be a zone, but yeah, somewhere in here, let me just throw it to different color. Somewhere in here could be an option, maybe something in there could be another option, but I'll be cautious at this point. In here maybe I'll okay, but anything else I'll be a little bit cautious, because now we do have this double top in here, and if I have a double top, I'll definitely be, I wouldn't be looking exactly for sales still underneath these lows. I'll be looking for some kind of fake out, even if you do kind of a small reaction just to even attract a little bit more. Eventually I'll be looking for that small move. Now, and the zone that you are talking about, the other one, is how many pips away from this? It's 100 pips away, kind of, yeah, around 100 pips. So fast move, maybe for the Fed could be one of the playbooks of them. Kind of push price to take these lows, to take these highs. There's maybe still the same way that we are reacting from the base of that 4-hour demand. Second, you are talking, just now I noticed the data, but 1 second, just the same way that we are kind of still reacting from the base of this 4-hour demand. Maybe there's something in here for a potential long, but yeah, we're trading within kind of a range, so there's no break to the upside, kind of no break to the downside. This one for me is still an engulf down, so remember that what I mentioned, that this kind of a break in here is still an engulf to the downside. So I wouldn't be surprised if price eventually goes down. It was just how price reacted and took the orders straight away from here, right? So I talked about that on my previous live stream. Just it's a specific particular setup in there. So you like the zones? Let me just look at the zones that you mentioned. Where are you? You like the zones 14430. Yeah, it's around this level, right? 14430. Yeah, around here for sure. Yeah, I kind of knew that you would like that one as well. 14469. Yeah, around with this level. Yeah, we are looking at the same. Yeah, we're looking at the same. Yeah, same zones. Yeah, I kind of agree with you in there. This one is kind of, I could see some kind of reaction from there, and then price may just react from the next level of support resistance and then may continue to the upside. That could be maybe a scalp in there. That can be one choice. And yes, then maybe something in here. Yeah. For now, I don't really trade anything in between these levels. I'll wait for price to go to one of the both extremes and then to look for it. But there are trades to be taken in here. Just don't like them. Don't feel confident trading in there. So this has been the dollar yen, which is unfortunately kind of, that's the pair that you were looking for trade on the yen. It has been kind of the one with the lowest moves. This one in here, it was quite nice. I think I already maybe have mentioned this one on the previous stream. This yen euro yen pair. Nice reaction from this higher time frame Quasimodo kind of, this left shoulder in here. I still see price maybe going a little bit higher. I think I was doing that exercise the other day with someone of analyzing the euro yen on the higher time frame. Maybe I can do that on Tuesday on a queen chart, because this is full of lines. Yep, that's when you keep lines from a long time. Maybe I need to kind of redo all this again. But yeah, just looking, is this an engulf? Is this kind of a, this low is the final target or not? We are literally kind of approaching now the high that created all this move to the downside. Again, this high never really reached this this zone in there. So yeah, the probability of price eventually on the way back, taking this high and going a little bit closer to this zone, it was kind of, it's obvious. If this was a 15 minutes chart, kind of a lower time frame chart, would you be looking for a sell somewhere in there and potential target these lows? Would you be doing that if this was a lower time frame target, a lower time frame chart? That's kind of like that the mind shift that maybe you can do when analyzing higher time frame levels. Or on the other hand, would you still be expecting price to still take out this high, going somewhere in here, a little bit above, before that major turn to the downside? And this is kind of good. It's a good exercise actually to look for. Are we having a good approach to start noticing that maybe we are close to have a major reversal on the yen pairs, on this euro yen, maybe then on the dollar yen? Yeah, BOG, right? I think there was this week on Tuesday, I think after the CPI data during the night, there was, and that's why I think there was big moves on the yen pairs. The guy had made some comments for the first time about the yen. The minister of Bank of Japan, I think he made some comments this last Tuesday night. That's why we saw some moves on the yen pair. So if they finally decide to do something to avoid this this literally decline on the yen, maybe you're going to see that. But we are getting close to a really important level. Of course, I don't believe any of us is trading, is holding trades for 5 years. But we may be close to actually a really good possible zone. There's still some orders somewhere close to that highs, a little bit above it. I still like that supply zone, but we may be close to a big turn. I see maybe this one already kind of maybe as an engulf of something in here. Then we just took the orders already. So we have a little bit of a compression already in here. This has been taken. This one, yeah, this one actually, how this moving here is actually kind of a combination of two things that I mentioned today, which is that that wick in here, just next to the really close to the support resistance level. So that zone to look for a major reversal. It was something that I think this one happened around the same time as the Aussie. So the Aussie setup that I mentioned, which is exactly the same, is, where are we? Jesus. Yeah, this one in here, which is still kind of the higher high that is creating new lows. I'm still so pissed that I didn't trade it. Again, beautiful zone. We have this wick, a higher time frame. You can see it on the weekly, I believe on the monthly as well, and on the daily. And you can see literally a fresh supply in there, aligned with that, with the bias that created the last higher high. Yep. So in this case, we are still creating new lows after that reversal. And around February 2021, end of February, something like that. Yeah. And I think that is it was somewhere at the same period when you had this move in here on the euro yen. Again, similar setup, major reversal. And then is the other setup, the other part that I mentioned, when you have that fake out to the upside, and then eventually price just moves down to take a major low before it actually then continues and moves to the upside, which is kind of what I mentioned on euro pound, on the, I'm not talking about the euro index, which is exactly this. Price literally just takes this one. All these looks compressed to me on the way up. Beautiful supply in there actually, the reaction. And there you go. We have this fresh demand aligned with this support resistance. And you can see how price kind of bounced and reacted from there. So yeah, it takes an important low, feel the compression, and then it's free to go up because this actually was an engulf ending up also to the upside. This one had actually already broken the high as well, and you can carry on to the going higher. Yeah, this is a higher time frame reading. Yeah, but let's see how price is going to go there. We can investigate it on the lower time frame a little bit more. What kind of levels do we have in there? But yeah, this was actually a really nice move on the euro yen. Unfortunately, the spike in there, it was during the CPI data, hard to trade it. Reaction from the support resistance in here, but you can see maybe this one as an engulf down of that low, so maybe you can have continuation to the downside. We do have this this fresh supply in there on the yen, which is kind of a little bit aligned with that high that we just with all these highs that we just faked out. So yeah, and almost nothing better than before a major reversal to actually have all this accumulation of highs to create liquidity, and for maybe a potential reversal, especially after a strong move up as well. So there's maybe enough room for price to start moving and filling out those moves down as well. Okay, curious to see what the euro yen is going to do. Maybe in here can be some kind of trend continuation. I would actually like to see a new break of a low. So we already broke this low, but just to have again that kind of pattern. We broke a low in here, price retraces, it accumulates kind of all these highs in here, and after that we do create a new low, and then yes, then price kind of retraces, comes here, takes the orders from there, and is free to go down. And this could be definitely the zone to look for. This is kind of what I would like to see happening on euro yen. I do like this this setup. Yeah, potential setup in there. Yeah, and there's still potential to still create new highs, but I do like this one. I'll be paying attention to a potential setup like this. Yeah, Aussie yen, just as I mentioned once more. So this live stream today is just an example of how you can find that those major reversals. Another one, right? Another one that it was that fake out in there of that week. I think you can clearly see here on the weekly time frame, fake out that guy. Initially, price actually created a few highs in there, respecting that zone, and then we have the final fake out in there. Yeah, somewhere in here. Align with this week to the downside, this low, and there you go. We even have this left shoulder as well, this that line, and there you go. We exactly had that move in there. You can see how we started. All these lows, all these highs in here is still underneath that low, and then during the news we just pick out that level, and there you go. Another really nice move. Another really nice move to the downside in there. Now price actually is reacting from this zone. It was a nice KM yesterday in the evening. In here we have now this move in here. We broke the high, reacted, and go there. This was a natural target to look for, and maybe price will just continue and resume the move to the downside on this Aussie yen. Somewhere in there, somewhere in here. This can be also a good zone to trace. Let's see, if you do break this level, maybe you're going to enter into this compression with the potential for price to go all the way down. This will already broke this one, so even expecting price to go all the way in there, it's a really, yeah, it's a potential of a move in there. Maybe breaking this one, going higher, maybe taking something like this, and then doing the move all the way in here could be a scenario to see. Maybe a little bit similar to euro yen, kind of break that new low, retrace, go get something in here, and then maybe resume to the downside and fill this price all the way until there. We target maybe somewhere in there. Yeah, Aussie yen, not Aussie yen, yeah, Aussie yen. I do like that level. Pound yen was another one that had a really nice move. Again, the yen pairs, basically it has been the ones that have been moved the most this last week, comparing with the major FX pairs. Really nice move in there. That spike, again, really nice reaction from this fresh supply zone. That one never really reacted from there, and price just completely moved to downside. And this was after that exercise. I did an exercise of explaining the PI inside this level when price was still somewhere here, and that for me, that high was already an engulf. This high was already an engulf to the upside. On the higher time frame, I was looking for price to go higher from all this range, because I really liked the zone where price reacted from here, and yeah, and then yeah, somewhere in there, I think it was a nice zone to look for a trade. And there you go, price just move higher. The reaction from this extreme now, and down it went, and down it went. Let's see, now we have this next level, so let's see what's going to happen in here on the pound yen. Yep, interesting to see. Dollar CAD is another one that we broke the highs. Yep, we literally broke the highs. This for me is kind of an engulf down. Price decided not to respect it. We still reacted somehow from here, went down. Beautiful demand that was fresh in there, CPI, and price just skyrocketed to the moon. It's a little bit tricky, this dollar CAD, in terms of the PI that was created on the way down. It's a lot of compressions in here. Are you going to go all the way to retest this double top? Question mark. Maybe before that we have this level, and before that, for me, price still needs to break this zone. It's a weekly, monthly, kind of still fresh week in there. Price never really reacted from there. On the monthly zone as well, so it's still fresh in there as well. And on the daily, it was yep, still fresh as well. And we do have this small spike in there. Maybe it was created during some kind of news, which price just faked out. I think so. Yep, I think price just taken this high in here that kind of never really reacted from that zone. So let's see what the CAD is going to do. It was another one that was kind of falling a little bit. We had this move down, nice reaction from there, aligned with the high that was just faked out. Usually something that you can see if you have a major high on the left side, price can just fake out, go down, and eventually align with that same high that was just faked out. Usually price kind of reacts quite nicely to the same level. Let's see if price if the CAD is going to go now a little bit more farther down, or fake out first, react from there and go down. We had that zone in there, this double top. How was the move to the upside? We could see that price is kind of moving a little bit in this compression. We had this demand created in there after the break of the high, price respected, price goes up, take it, price goes up, respect this demand zone. Now it was being taken. So yeah, eventually if price goes all the way to there, could be an option, and eventually all this looks compressed as well. So let's see if the CAD is ready to go a little bit more further down. Maybe if the dollar is actually ready to go down as well, maybe CAD can follow. We do have this kind of demand in here, just underneath that level. Actually going to delete this. Yeah, let's see, this one has been taken already. So curious to see again how the market's going to open on Monday. Yeah, we have kind of a little bit of a separation in here between where this compression started. We have this demand in here, and then the next compression started. So we have a little bit of a separation there, which can be a zone for price to react from. But yeah, on the higher time frame, maybe this can be one of the last zones to look for a little bit of a short. Otherwise, maybe how this looks compressed from this high to over there and somewhere in there. Eventually, price can go all the way up and take these ones. I don't like anything inside here, and continue to go higher and eventually reach that level. Yeah, and CAD has a lot of these movements along the way, like a lot of kind of strong, really strong compression zones, kind of ranges, and then kind of a little bit of a momentum, and then continues with strong ranges, and then more momentum either to the upside or to the downside. And it sometimes it can be a really choppy pair to trade or to look for opportunities. Yeah, lots of ups and downs in the same area before maybe a strong move. Yeah, dollar franc Swiss. Dollar franc Swiss. Yeah, dollar franc Swiss. So yeah, it reacted from that level. If you have been following the live streams for a while, you would have seen that I was trying kind of to look for shorts in there. It was during some FOMC, and then the Central Bank of Switzerland increased interest rates and big drop, and my final target has been always below this zone, somewhere in here. It's been always kind of my final target from one of the natural targets from this move down, aligned with this kind of support resistance zone. Take out this compression and somewhere in there. Nice reaction. Price never broke this high. Moved all the way down. It now reacts from a zone that I actually had mentioned as well in one of my last streams before I went on the holidays, which was take out this level, and somewhere in between this level there's going to be it's a little bit of space in there. This is the beginning of the compression. We had this engulf down just before moving up. That is a natural zone to look for a potential target. In this case, we even are aligned with these left shoulders on the left side, which is quite nice. CPI data comes out, price goes up. We have this move down in here, and I think price can actually start going, potentially for price to start going up. The short I took actually yesterday, it was just... So this high was still kind of reacting from the extreme of the supply. So yeah, that's why I still kind of respected that level, and my short was just literally, yep, from here to here, and that's it. That was my target one. Target two, it would be kind of a little bit more below. Price never got there. Price had respected this level. Price had broken these lows. That's why I looked for the short. Of course, between all the other major FX pairs, euro dollar, pound dollar, and so on, they kind of has respected the level of structure that you were trading from, and the dollar franc Swiss is the only one that actually already broke the high. I believe price is going to continue to go higher from where it is. After this move down, I think price is going to continue to go higher. In there, let's see. It's in the middle of the range at this point, so that's it. Let's see what's going to happen if price gets close to this level. Personally, we are starting to create this double top, and I still like this zone in here. So this is when we had that interest rate decision happening. We saw the big drop, and price actually hasn't really retrace to this level, so maybe there's still good zones, opportunities to for sales around those highs if price eventually gets there. Maybe faking out this double top now and doing something like this could be a scenario. Yeah. So yeah, that's it basically for the major FX. This is gold, which, one second, I think I did it on the other side. Yeah, gold, I kind of have a few zones in here that kind of I was looking for yesterday. After creating that double top, price broke down. It finally moved down. This was actually a nice zone to maybe look for continuations. Retest of this natural supply that broke out these lows on the left side. Retest that level, have the compression, and there you go. Price still kind of tried to respect a little bit that zone just to attract even more kind of liquidity, most likely, until it broke. I think everyone was waiting for these walls to be broken, which was kind of natural, seeing all that liquidity. And those walls, as I mentioned, kind of all these looked compressed to me, and somewhere in here is maybe where we had the first fresh demand below this low in here this week. That could have been kind of the first somewhere in here. Could be the first zone to maybe look for an opportunity. It was even below this level. Where price has been reacted from is in here. Yeah, it was a nice reaction from there. I don't even know why they have this rectangle in there. I'll draw it like this in here actually. Yeah, that's one of the zones. Second zone, maybe somewhere below this zone, these walls in here, could be also an option. One that I actually really like. It's actually something that maybe you guys can help me with. If we do have this spike, big spike in here on the 26th of March 2020, is there any spike in here or no? Maybe on this day, it's when maybe some lockdown announcements were created and maybe you had this kind of spike. This is back when COVID was going on. I do have this big spike and I do have still this fresh demand, and I really like it for the future as a zone that maybe price can go and react from. Yep, that's kind of what I like for in there. Eventually in the higher time frame, I wouldn't even be surprised if price just takes all of this, and eventually after the break of this, I actually like maybe this one as a potential target. I really like this level. Right in there, this is literally fresh. Price created all this compression, and I do like this level. But before that, price can easily still go up and so on and so forth. But I think after the break of maybe these lows, this could be eventually a zone to look for. So let's see what's going to happen on gold. If you're going to have now just a retest and continuation of this move to the downside, where would you be looking for sales now? If you are looking for still that continuation, we do have kind of this level, and maybe expect some kind of reaction. We have this strong move down as well. Let's see. This one has been taken. Maybe above these ones in there. Yep, let's see what's going to happen in here on gold in future. And to finalize it, it's been almost 2 hours. Let's just take a look at Ethereum and Bitcoin. And Guys, if you are still here, if you have been enjoying it, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for even taking the time to watch it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'll be trying to create even more content. Short clips of the webinars, of the live streams is kind of what I'm going to try to attempt to do. BTC. Alright, so BTC initially had respected this kind of demand. It's still kind of around at that level. This was literally a nice compression zone. This was kind of obvious that supply was still fresh, just above these guys. Is price going to respect these guys and go down? Or if you do break this trend line, this compression there, maybe price is going to go a little bit higher. We took this low in here. We reacted from that one. So we actually looking at this one. Yeah, that's nice. Price can actually just do this and maybe continue to go down. This is an option. Make that high, react from there, and continue to go down. If that's what it's on the cards for BTC, to create new lower lows. For me, that's still what I'll be expecting for the crypto, to create new lower lows and kind of follow a little bit the indices. If you're following me so from the beginning, when I started these live streams and analyzing BTC, that's kind of what I was looking for. Even when I was analyzing this zone in here as a potential good retracement to the upside. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be looking for, and I think that's a potential setup in there. Reaction from here, take from there. There's maybe something in here to look for. Yep, take it, react, goes. Something in there. We have this zone. This one, it looks then compressed. Price can just fill it completely. Yeah, actually, I want to see something different. I want to see actually price going higher. Takes these guys. And then go down. Yes, take these guys. And now fill the compression. And we target maybe that zone. And yeah, after that, let's see what's going to happen next. Let's see what's going to happen next. Or if this level is still fresh behind, even after price goes all the way up and takes this guy, maybe then it's a different scenario. Maybe now it's going to be the other scenario, which is this is scenario 1 maybe. Actually scenario 2 to be just take this one and go up straight away, or price can just go up, something like this, take this highs, maybe shows indication to go higher by taking the highs, and now yes, now can come all the way down, and now respect this guy, and there we go. It continue to go higher. This could be kind of scenario 2. So green 1-1, first take this one in here, take this one, let this guy go up, or scenario 2, take this one first, and there you go. Why not? Why not do that? Kind of like it. Kind of like it. Just yeah, just in there, take that one and go. Okay. And Ethereum. So a new low has been created. Is price reacting from here already? From this demand zone? Not the vast extremes in there. Yeah, I really like to see price going further down. Is price going to just respect this level? Yeah, it's a nice zone to react from, but I actually would really like to see price continue to go. I think price will just continue to go further down. Eventually take out these. Let's see. About this compression in here. Yeah, if we do break above this level, and then maybe there's a dynamic of potential starting to go look for longs. Otherwise, maybe just continuation to the downside could be seen. Yeah, price initially respected that level, then broke it. So let's see how it's going to play out. Even below this lows in there would be a natural zone to look for, and yeah, somewhere in there. Let's see how Ethereum is going to play out. We just broke this low. Maybe it's going to fall with indices. There's maybe something fresh in here above these highs that price can go to, and then make a decision if it's going to be respected and continue down, or it's going to be broken. There's a little bit of a fresh level in there. There's literally space in there. So let's see what's going to happen. We are at this point creating this zone in here, leaving the zone fresh. Which could easily, or kind of this weekend setups, kind of today, maybe tomorrow, there's a potential for price to go take this level and then continue to go higher. Yeah, if you guys trade during the weekend, if you guys trade crypto, maybe that's something to be looking at. Is this aligned with the low that was just taken? And this line, yep, it's actually aligned with that one. It's actually kind of maybe a really nice zone to actually look for a potential long in there. Maybe trade out the way until here, until 1,500. Maybe looking at it 1,500 as a key point to look for. Can be something to look for. Yep, I kind of like that potential move. But this is short term, right? Higher time frame, then we'll see what's going to happen. Yeah, we will see. Okay, guys, I'm thirsty and I need to have some lunch. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for being in here with me. Let me know which pair did you trade, or which analysis do you agree or kind of disagree with what I mentioned. Are you going to be looking for longs on the dollar or shorts? The indices, are you going to expect continuation of a down move? And then on crypto as well, are you going to be looking for, are you expecting new lows or resume to the upside on the Ethereum and Bitcoin? So yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know what is your thought process. Yeah. Thank you, Pedro. I was not sure if you were still there or not. Yeah. Thank you for being in here. Yeah, looking forward for more interactions with you as well on Twitter. I really like your charts. Yeah. Thank you. Just got back. Yeah, in Greece it's already 4 p.m. right in there. Yeah, it's 4 p.m. already. Yeah. All right. Thank you. See you guys next Tuesday for another live stream. Otherwise, just yeah, being active on Twitter. Yeah, having lunch at 4 p.m. it's kind of a normal thing in Greece, which is kind of weird. And late dinners, late lunches, like it's interesting. It's kind of, you are almost doing those kind of daily things, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and so on, almost at the same time as I'm doing in here in the UK, even though it's 2 hours more in there. And that's kind of even with my girlfriend as well, when she was there for the summer, when I was still here. Anytime she was kind of having lunch, or having lunch at the same time, but she was 2 hours in front, which is interesting. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you guys. See you next time on Tuesday. Yeah. See you guys. Obrigado.